and culminating in our championship game between Georgetown Prep and Dematha, and was probably the best game that we've seen the whole summer, and the first game that was so contentious, so tight, even went to overtime.
First game, overtime, and this was a big game right here, man. Again, the defense was tremendous on both parts. It was so tight from tip to end. Again, this was straight strategy right here. I feel like Georgetown came in here ready to fight with an undefeated team, and they didn't look like an underdog. They didn't look like a number 10 seed to me.
I mean, only down by 4 at halftime. It was only 24-20 at the half. Very low scoring in the first half before things picked up in the second half.
But Noah, coming out of halftime, man, again, the intensity pick up. I told you at the table, I felt like right now at this moment, Dematha was going to wake up. Because right there at that moment, I honestly felt like Georgetown possibly could have built a little bit of lead. Because again, Akbar and the guys were they were penetrating the lane. They were definitely beating Dematha's press. They were definitely getting the ball across half court with no problem, getting quick, easy baskets from guys cutting baseline. I felt like, honestly, Georgetown was playing Dematha's normal game. Dematha normally brings the ball up court, and they're trying to get the ball up top, and they're looking for their cutters to cut baseline and hit somebody cutting to get a quick layup. And I felt as though that entire first half, Georgetown had Dematha playing their pace and playing their game. But again, coming out of the second half, the intensity picked up on both sides. Dematha started pressing, and they put a little pressure. They put some pressure on Georgetown because I believe Akbar, for about 6 possessions, he missed about 4 shots.
Well, I mean, also you saw Georgetown Prep change their game in the second half because they realized that there was no penetration. So you saw them kick it out a lot. You saw guys like Akbar Wahid, Patrick McDonough, and Akeem Clark making big-time threes. I mean, you got to mention R.J. Stewart and Lee Brunner as well, making some key shots down the stretch. And they kind of adjusted where the paint was too clogged up, so they're kicking it out and just kind of putting up threes, getting guys in their spots. McDonough hit a couple threes.
Yeah.
Akbar Wahid hit 2 or 3 threes in the second half. And I mean, as I mentioned, it was Akeem Clark who hit that one big one right at the very end, extended into overtime. So definitely great adjustments out of the half.
Now, that was a big-time shot, too. We did get the chance to speak with him after the game, and he talked about nothing but trust from his teammates right there leading up to that moment. But you also got to talk about that big dunk that he had, too. Off that steal, they stripped the ball right from Mason So, got that quick pass, and he caught it with the left and finished.
Wapkota, who averages 2 blocks per game. Akeem Clark slams it home.
Hardly any transition. If there was any transition, I believe it was quick baskets. I believe Dematha was literally coming down, setting up their offense, trying to get a quick shot in roughly 7 to 10 seconds within their offense. But as soon as they got their basket, as soon as the ball got inbounded by Georgetown, it was an outbound pass to a player that had already leaked out, getting a quick basket. It was literally back to back again, 20-24 at halftime.
And I mean, that contention and that closeness made its way into the second half where we had Akeem Clark for Georgetown hitting a 3-pointer to tie it up at 51 with 2.5 seconds left and eventually send the game into the overtime period that we saw.
Look for Georgetown to look for a quick basket and try to get to the free throw line.
Runner up to Stewart, 7 seconds. They need a 3. Akeem Clark for 3. Count it! Akeem Clark!
Clutch shot right there.
Big time shot! My
fellas,
goodness!
I think we're about to see some overtime basketball, fellas.
I mean, you can't talk about this game as a whole without talking about these last 2 or 3 minutes where we had some really clutch shooting and some really clutch playmaking that we saw. And I mean, we saw Mason So make 4 free throws at the very end, and we had Georgetown Prep with 2 key 3-pointers. First, it was Akbar Wahid from the corner. We had Akeem Clark drive down the line and kick it right back. Wahid found his spot and just absolutely drained it. And then at the very end, after Mason So with 2 free throws to put Dematha up 51-48, we saw R.J. Stewart bring it down the court. He had a wide open lane to the basket.
I saw that.
And he instead flipped it behind his head, and Akeem Clark from range, because that was pretty far back.
That was a tough shot. Like, first off, I swear I thought he was going to take the layup. I thought we were going to go with a tie game. I thought we were going to get a tie game. If not, try to go for the layup and try to get that foul right there with Dematha having that late lead. Because, again, Mason So at that point in time was perfect for the free throw. He hadn't missed a free throw yet. So, I mean, the strategy within that moment. But, again, for him to find Clark wide open. Now, again, he wasn't right up on the three-point line. Like, the boy definitely had some space.
And we also had a chance to talk with Akeem Clark about that moment, about the mentality, about shooting that 3 and the opportunity he was given by his team and by his coaches.
So I want you to walk me through that final play again. You say your point guard drove into the lane, found you out there deep. You weren't even close to the line. That was a deep three right there. That was a real big-time shot that sent him in overtime. Talk to me about that moment.
I was just ready for the moment, just looking ready for the pass. He could have passed it to Akbar, but he trusted me too, and I knocked down the shot.
But let's go ahead and jump into overtime. Again, first overtime of Summer League right here. And if I'm correct, it was only, 3-4 minutes?
It's a 4-minute overtime, yeah.
Now, honestly, I could have got a whole nother half. Again, this game was so good to me, but the 4 minutes settled with me. It was good to go.
I mean, you had dudes stepping up left and right. I mean, Isaiah Arnold hit 2 big-time threes in that overtime period. I mean, I think that you talked to him after the game, and he had some things to say about those three-pointers.
Man, it was that step-back three, man. He came down right on the left wing, man. I believe he hit him with an in-and-out quick step-back.
In the driver's seat right now. Arnold pulls up for three.
Talk to me about that last three that you took right here, coming down in that position right there. That was a tough shot, man. A tough shot, pull up right in his face right there, man. Talk to me about that moment.
It was kind of a bad shot, honestly. But I know I can hit it. Coach believes in me, trusted me to take them shots. I think we were 5 at the moment. Kind of wanted to send him away home on a big note. So, I had to take the shot, be the guy.
Now, I believe he said that was a bad shot. He said that was a horrible shot. But I mean, he failed. You shoot that shot, it falls.
Confidence is key in those moments. We had some clutch free throw shooting again. Mason So went 6 for 6 in this game from the line, including 2 free throws in overtime. And
it was a little rough in the beginning. I missed a few shots, but I was able to get those free throws in the end to seal the deal.
Georgetown Prep had a chance to win at the end because, I mean, they were down by 2, 63-61, but they just ran out of room. I saw that they had drawn up a play. Coach Howard Blue had drawn up a play,
yeah.
But Patrick McDonough just not had the room to put up a good shot. It went a little too far, and Dematha was just able to celebrate it after that. 10 seconds. Georgetown Prep down by 2. Stewart with the ball. They don't need a 3. Brunner, McDonough from the corner. Too strong! And the Dematha Stags are your 2022 Capital Hoop Summer League champions. Back-to-back for the Stags.
That is how you close out that game.
And McDonough just not able to put it in the basket. But, I mean, you got to give the props to the Dematha Stags, the hosts, the back-to-back champions, a brand-new squad, brand-new starting 5. Had some guys that really stepped up, and they were able to secure that championship for the 2022 Capital Hoop Summer League.
Again, that roster is great. It's loaded with talent. But I think you still got to give it at the end of the day to the man above, Coach Mike Jones. Again, you said he just started out in April. This is his first summer league, first few weeks with the guys, and again, undefeated. I guess this is Dematha. This is Dematha ball right here. Go Stags.
I mean, we've talked to Coach Jones a couple times, and we talked about how his strategy and his outlook on what his players been doing and the things that he's seen on the court as a brand new head coach.
And lastly, we did notice that your team is deep. It wasn't, just one player that led you guys to this win. You had big contributions from from Isaiah Arnold, and from Fox working out there in the middle, especially in the second half. What do you have to say about your team and your depth?
We always try to make adjustments. Georgetown Prep did an excellent job preparing for us, for our pressure and everything, so we had to come in and just really execute on the offensive end and communicate on the defensive end and try to limit them to one shot. We did a pretty good job of that, like down the stretch with about 5 minutes remaining. We were able to pull away and get the win.
Post-game, we had an opportunity to talk to not only the Dematha team about their win, which was extraordinary, and get a few players to come inside, but we also had an exclusive sit-down interview with Etan Thomas, 11-year NBA veteran and 2-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year at Syracuse, to talk about what he sees in the Dematha team and maybe just a little bit about his son, Malcolm. And watching Dematha through the regular season, through the postseason, of course, your son playing on Dematha, what have you noticed from this program as it's developed throughout these past 6 weeks?
Well, Mike Jones came in and got the guys together really quickly. They didn't really have a lot of practice time, but he has been leading them in the summer league really well. They've all responded really, really well to him. He's a teacher, instructing them of what he wants them to do. And they're gelling really quickly. It's going to be really fun to see them this season. We got a little bit of taste of what they could accomplish here in the Summer League, but really, to carry that momentum onto the season, it's going to be exciting to watch.
We also got the opportunity to speak with head coach from Georgetown Prep, Howard Blue, after the game. And he had a great message for the people at home. he feels that a lot of people view the program as underdogs, but he says throughout this summer league, the guys definitely showed heart. They showed that they could step up and play at the highest level. And he said he's going to surprise a lot of people coming this fall.
I knew that coming into this game with the guys that we had a chance to win. I know on paper, and I know what some people talk about in the community. Might not see what I see, but I think we're one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the area. And I wish those guys had an opportunity, one more minute to have figured it out, and truly have shown everybody else that. But I think come the wintertime, we're going to shock a lot of people. We're going to get better, and our program is going to continue to weigh all of our success on our development, and our players are going to get better. If you saw us in the beginning of the summer, every man that's still getting playing time is way better than they were in early June, and that's something that we're going to continue to do. So when you see us in November, we're going to have the same faces, but we're going to look a whole lot better.